This is all wrong.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Little T, an alleged pilot, once told me that making videos about airplanes does not prove that the Earth is flat. However, Little T cannot show me a plane flying over the curvature. And Little T, keep in mind, is a 30-year pilot.
Wait, what?
Little T
How dare
should be
you?
able, within 30 years, to have some type of pamphlet or booklet or learning exercise book to show all of us that they are told that they will be flying over the curvature of the Earth, and that their aerial planes should be dipping its nose constantly to account for the curvature, not fly straight even at a high altitude. Straight is not the way to get to the bottom of the Earth.
Can't stop now. Can't stop. And you can't stop me. Don't try.
Saying it's sad seeing you out here pushing this flat earth stuff. It makes me sad to see you doing this. Don't you have anything else better to do? It's sad, really. People saying that the earth is flat is what makes you sad. If people talking about flat earth is what makes you sad, maybe you need to stop being angry at me and anybody else talking about flat earth. And you need to start being mad at your parents for raising such a little bitch. If that's what makes you sad.
One of my all-time favorite Flat Earth roundtables with allegedly Dave and a kid named Pierre and his friends. A couple of indoctrinated kids.
Newton has been proved to be absolutely, completely wrong. Is that somebody will get a magnet and lift up a load of paper clips and says, well, you know, this magnet is overcoming the force generated by the entire planet. Here's an experiment. Mythbusters did a show where they used a standard vacuum cleaner to lift a car. That power of that vacuum, only generated by a vacuum cleaner, not the vacuum of space, yeah, was able to lift a car. So we've got a pressurized system, the Earth, right next to an unpressurized system, space. So supposedly stopping this movement is this weak force called gravity, which I've already just shown is overcome by just a piddly little vacuum generated by a vacuum cleaner.
I mean,
My teacher didn't tell me about that one.
Again, and here's one of the questions that we got.
Your name is?
Grace, I'm from Hunter Elementary, and how can the Earth spin and you can't feel it?
What she said, thank you so much, Grace. What she says is, how come if the Earth is spinning, we can't feel it? Why is that the case? Well, it's a great question. A lot of people have asked that question, so we're going to try to answer that for you if I can get to the right graphic here. Well, let's just use this one right here again. Here's the Earth, and it's spinning right now. Why don't we feel it? Do you know how fast the Earth is spinning? First of all, at the equator, it's spinning just over 1,000 miles per hour. If you're at the equator, that's how fast the Earth is spinning. If you're at the North Pole, the effective speed is 0 because it's just kind of circulating around one point. And if you get to our latitude, about 45 degrees north, we're going about 725 miles per hour right now. If you can hear my voice, that's about how fast we're traveling, but we don't feel it. It's much like being in an airplane. You're traveling at 500 miles an hour when things are going steady and there's no acceleration or deceleration. You really don't even notice it, provided it's not too bumpy there. But if there's a quick change in the speed, you would certainly notice it. That's the same thing with the Earth. If we sped the Earth up, it made it go more quickly, or if it slowed down, we would certainly feel it. It would be more like we'd have to balance ourselves by leaning into it or leaning away from it. But the general rule is that we're not going to feel it. Now, if the Earth spun so fast, instead of taking 24 hours to go around, if we got around in an hour and 20 minutes, we'd be spinning so fast that we would fly off the Earth. It would overcome gravity, which is holding us to the Earth right now. So basically, we don't want the Earth to speed up that much. We'll keep it going at about 725 miles an hour where we are. Right?
Do you have one of these? Maybe at home or at school. It's a globe.
And then you graduate and remember your favorite teacher.
One thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
Stay flat.
That is the great eternal light, which forever and ever is named the sun. And this that rises is the great light, which is named after its appearance, as the Lord commanded. And thus it rises and sets. It neither decreases nor rests, but runs day and night in its chariot. And its light is 7 times brighter than that of the moon, but in size the two are equal. And after this law I saw another law, for the lesser light named the moon. And its disk is like the disk of the sun, and the wind blows its chariot on which it rides, and in fixed measure light is given to it. And every month its rising and setting change, and its days are as the days of the sun. And when its light is uniformly full, it is a 7th part the light of the sun.
Therefore, if they're equal in size, if the sun was really 93 million miles away, we would not be able to see it. And here we go from this masterpiece to this. And since flat earthers have come about, this is what they're sending up to go to the moon. Because they know we know. They do it. We just observe. Now, I had a great discussion, or a good discussion with a great friend of mine about these satellites and how they are taking up into the air. He believes that they're in space and they're following us, magnetized to the earth. But I explained that they are taken up by balloons, and he thinks that they would separate from the balloons at some point and just fly by themselves, like they have some type of power. They don't. And of course, my whole argument is, why do you need the rockets to allegedly take these satellites into space following the same path? The Disney arch of these rockets as they head down. No one will ever get over that. I understand. Why would they need these satellites to take these supposed rockets up if they had these balloons bringing up satellites, not rockets, I'm sorry, bringing up these satellites? And they come and collect them after a couple of months. I told them that there's a business that does this. They're not hiding it. They interviewed them on TV. I showed that in one of my videos. They interviewed a business that does this, even in Antarctica. Why do you need the balloons to bring up these satellites? Oh, they said it's less fuel efficient, less cost efficient. Okay, then advertise that. At Cape Canaveral, have a launch like that, because it doesn't cost nearly as much as our taxes are paying NASA to send up these BS rockets. It's not that spectacular. It's not a fire show to get these people excited. I'm not gonna say anything derogatory. Changing my ways, just speaking clearly, because I can, because no one has proof of anything else. So getting past fake moon missions and satellites being brought up in these rockets when we know that they're not, because the rocket launches are in HD and 4K, then soon as they disappear, please tell me by now you know what CGI looks like. By now. I'm just trying to make people aware that wants to be aware. So we have that, and we have these cartoon moon landings that are unmanned and only hopes and talks, chitter, chatter, girl gossip about going back to the moon and Mars as the date keeps getting pushed further and further and further away. Flat Earthers did that. Flat Earthers caused all of this delay, and I love it. I'm glad to be a part of it. Try to send something up. We're right on it.
A stadium-sized super pressure balloon designed by NASA was launched on Tuesday in Wanaka, New Zealand. It began its 100-day planned journey after several attempts were thwarted by storms and cyclones. The balloon, made to detect ultra-high energy cosmic particles from beyond the galaxy, is expected to circle the planet, collecting data from 34 kilometers above the Earth. It is also carrying a small red poppy, a nod to the launch taking place on Anzac Day. New Zealand was also the base for NASA's scientific balloon program in 2015 and 2016. The country is looking to use its relatively isolated position on Earth as the new space launching hub.
In about 100 days, just shy over 3 months, which is, I believe, the lifespan of the balloon. So right then and there, they can tell you that the balloons are still attached to the satellites, and if they are in space collecting space data, again, the Earth is supposedly be moving. Come on, man. How and when does that balloon reconnect with Earth if it's in space? Just simple stuff, man. You just gotta ask these questions. I'm asking the question. If the balloon is in space collecting data, space, not the top of the sky, which I know is the limit, space. That is the name of the video. Go look it up on YouTube. NASA sends satellite to collect data from space. Just look it up. Now, it's in space. How and when does it reconnect with Earth after 100 days?
How dare you!
Please stay flat.